Don't be surprised to see the Nasdaq back above 20,000 in May. Here's why. As we can see looking at this chart, the Nasdaq put in what's known as the death cross last week. This is when the 50-day SMA falls down below the 200-day SMA. It's a sign of lost momentum technically, and shows us that price could no longer sustain at the same levels it was at over the previous 6 months. However, looking at past examples, this tends to be a lagging indicator that happens at or near local bottoms, and usually leads to a retest of the 200-day SMA in the month that follows. A retest of that 200-day on the Nasdaq currently will bring us back to the 20,400 level in the next month. When we see this in the past example of February 2022, we can see the death cross happened as NQ bottomed out around 13,000. From that point forward, it retested the bottom before ultimately coming back up to retest the 200-day in March at around a price of 15,300. When we look at the previous example to that, it happened during the recovery from the COVID crash. At this point, the 50-day dropped down below the 200, but price was already in recovery mode and zoomed to new all-time highs. And prior to that, we saw in November of 2018, we had a death cross and then price came back up, retested the 200-day in December, before ultimately falling lower and then making a V-shaped recovery. So if the past is any example of what to expect in the future, we should see Nasdaq back at or above the 200-day moving average within the next month. Let me know what you think in the comments, and share this with a trader who needs to see it.